Back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. The Timmix here, and it's time for the second to last race of the From the Ashes Challenge. And we have a 58-point lead. 43 points per race, so we need to lose 14 or less to clinch. In which case I would do the final video in montage mode. Probably going to be able to pull that off, but we shall see. Channel 6 interview. I want my drivers to race. Okay, and they were never that close together, so that's just sort of a bogus question, probably based only on the time gap. Car repairs. And what are we looking at here? We're looking at the engine, the suspension, and the rear wing. So let's yank those out. Engine. Stop it. And we may well not max everything out before the end of the year. Matter of fact, it doesn't look like we're going to. We're not really even going to get close on this. We're, 17 days and 34 days afterwards. We're only going to get a third of the boost here. But whatever we can get, the better off we're going to be. So our engine is third right now. Suspension is fifth. Rear wing second. Let's see if we can improve those at all. We've got sponsors. We'll worry about those when we get to the race, per usual. More sponsors. Don't care. So there's the lower tours doing their thing. Dieter Wexler is back to health. That's good. No interruptions, and we got all the way here. Let's see what we have. Fully recovered. Of course, I believe Sarnen is out well. 43 laps. We do have, looks like a light rain thing. 3.5 miles is probably going to lower that lap. I'm going to say probably more about a minute and a half. Rear wings are the top part of choice. Ultras, supers, and softs. So more of the warmer tires. They love our factory. Increased marketability of Oliveira. She's going to star in her own documentary. Can't see Wexler making up too much ground. Lipinen's driving too well. Odds on to win is Wexler, really. And Schmidt hoping to make a few waves. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Good luck, though. Been one of those drivers that's just barely inside the top 10. If we have a bad race, we're competing with Schmidt, so. Okay, so, I mean, here we're just going with the biggest upfront thing. Just to give the chairman some money. There we go, 1.5 there. Should be happy about the bank account now. And none of the rest of these are going to expire before the end of the year, so we are done with sponsors. 25 degrees. Wow, I'd like to have medium tires. They're not available. So, yeah. Definitely going to want to be going with some softs. They'll last the longest and they'll be the closest to the temperature. There's our sponsor bonus. Two there. 8, 2, and 5, I think is what I want to do here. never know if we might want to do a stint on Supes. Actually, just 7, 3, and 5. Just because that's going to be enough of those, so be plenty if we need to use them. But okay, we are being predicted 5th for Wexler now that he's healthy, and 7th for Lippanen, and yet they say Wexler is favored to win. Somebody got their wires crossed. Well, Oliveira actually giving us better feedback than Lippanen now. Sure. We'll go with that. Oliveira first and Wexler in the second car for practice. Take a look at our weight stripping. Nope. Forgot about that. I want to keep the engine at 100% with that being a crucial part. Caught myself several times on that, but I don't think I've actually screwed it up yet. Let's see. Yeah, that's where I want to be. 315 and 360. Look at our weather. It's going to get cooler. No sign of rain at all. Trying to leave the downforce right where it is there. Yeah, let's try that. Switch to qualifying trim. For both of you. Both of you have the wrong idea. Good job. Very average form early on. Yep, Wexler got out there just a bit later. Sun shining brightly as you might off the track, as you might expect when it's in the upper 20s Celsius. Most drivers coming out in softs, which makes perfect sense. "40-some lap race," it's entirely possible that we may want to just go on a one stop and use both sets of softs. Although a lot of that's going to depend on the weather, because it might rain during the race, so we might want to do a quick stint on ultras, then switch to wet tires. So we just want to sort of prepare for all eventualities. It is nice to be able to throw Oliveira a bone and have her take the practice car out. Yeah. 121, 122. We'll see times under 120 definitely for qualifying. Wexler wants more more downforce. We'll need to sort that. Oliveira liking the gear ratio. So it looks like we hit a lot of things reasonably well. I could easily see both drivers at like about 85%. Espinosa going a bit faster than Oliveira. Both really liking the gear ratios. Here we come in for our first change. Everything pretty close, 92%. All right, let's up the downforce a bit. Looks like everything is going to go the way of more downforce, more speed, more understeer. That's the way it appears so far, anyway. So let's just give that a try. Of course, we're going to switch to the race trim. Well, 38 to 40 laps. Wow. So we could do like an ultra and a super soft, potentially. We'd have to run them conservatively, but... Huh. Okay. That's going to be interesting then. So not enough downforce here, but really did nail the speed. 90%. I don't think I've ever gotten both drivers at 90% on their first setup. So that is just some very nice luck there. Before you get a reading on it, with the gap is what it is, it really can't take credit for it. Unless I was like memorizing stuff for each lap or whatever, each track, and I'm not doing that. Probably more understeer there. And then let's go there. This is probably a little bit more than I want, but that's not enough. Let's just see. Make sure it's at least the right direction before we go crazy with it. Gonna have a nice long stop here. Both of them, really. So we're getting pretty close to level 2 there. It's a short enough track. As always, great feedback for our drivers. I'm not concerned, you know, about hitting any marks. We're going to get everything. It's going to gradually get cooler throughout the day and faster at the same time. Of course, depending on when the rain comes, we may want to do one stint on softs, one stint on inters or whatever. It's really, we're really just going to have to wait and see what the weather says for the race. Make our call based on that. You can see the soft tires still heating up, not heating up as much, but still heating up in this weather. Will be a couple degrees cooler during the race, but they're still going to be heating up. We're going to have to go conservative on whatever tires we use. Alright, let's just roll on with this. Just want to get through these laps and find out what they have to say about the setup. So we know that Wexler, as we hit one of those rare graph glitches, doesn't like the change to the handling. Alright, let's go conserve on the tires. Alright, now let's see where we are when we come around for this next lap. May want somebody to come in. I think we're going to want to at least bring Oliveira in. Wexler right behind, so let's see, but it doesn't, it looks like I'm going to want him out for that next lap. Yep, we're going to need him to go around one more to finish those up. Still at 92%, just a slightly different 92%. We're going to switch back to qualifying. 2 laps, I think, is going to be sufficient. Okay, so let's try, we're going to move down to 26.2. We're going to want to keep the handling where it is, and we're going to want more acceleration. Probably a little bit far to push the acceleration, but let's see how that goes. There we go, and he finishes up a little over halfway through the lap. Okay, we just need to change the handling then. Everything else is great. 95%. And we'll go back to qualifying 1. Could have gotten away with 1 lap on Oliveira too, I'm quite sure. And that was great. So we want more oversteer, that's obvious. Let's try that. I think that's going to be close. Speed this up a bit again. Level 2. And I think I'll need them both to go back around again. Yep. Okay. Oliveira moves up to 6 with her best lap. Wexler's in front. And, yep, I'm pretty confident we're going to hit the mark. Let's come in. Yep, as Wexler makes it around the final turn. Pretty good timing there. Then we'll just get what we can out of the supers. Call it a day. See how close we are here. Close, but not there. 98%. Can probably get another percent out of this. Okay. So that was great. And that was good. And this is great. So we want to kind of go in between those two. So let's get a bit more understeer. Want it to be about there, but then this is going to be a little bit off. Let's just see how far, if that actually is off. It may have to, we're just doing those last little tweaks, and we might as well just stay on qualifying because we're not going to get any more. I mean, I'll just put 2 laps just for the heck of it. And also close, but not quite there. 98%. 2 excellents and a great. Okay. Same thing. Qualifying. Second lap just for the fun of it. Super softs. So we were at great balance there. And it was good there. And it's great here. Great and great. So we want to go right in between with a little bit more speed. Honestly, right there. That's right where I want it. That should be just about perfect. But it's nice to have both drivers at a minimum of 98% going into qualifying. It looks like we're probably going to get level 1 and that's it on the super softs. But it was our 3rd priority tire. Drivers generally considering or continuing with roughly average form. Yep, there's the time. And there's our level 1. And they both wrap up. So that's where we are. And we finished 4th and 6th when we were supposed to be 5th and 7th. So we finish a spot up, although again, practice, how much does it really mean? Not a whole lot. And onward to qualifying. Chapman wish they gave up points for practice. He's tired. And oh look, it was supposed to be clear weather, but they decided, nah, let's have some heavy rain. Not a full storm, but heavy rain. Okay, so we're going to be looking at all of that nonsense. Okay, so we're going to have some dry weather later. We just want to make sure our setup is nailed. And then go get some times when that dry weather arrives. So, well, Wexler is at 99%. He's gonna sit right where he is. You can go out on inters though. And actually, we're gonna change your setup so that you don't have to switch tires. There we go. Now we do have to figure this out. Figure out your speed, because I thought we were going to hit it. Great. Great. Okay, so maybe just a tad more acceleration. So I think we want to... Let's do that and then see what that does to our handling. And again, we have time here. We have time to mess around with this. Most definitely going to take it. So Wexler sits. Lippinen goes out for start and stop detail. We'll just speed him around the track a little faster. Because again, we care about nothing except for what he says about the setup. Yep, and you're not going to yet either. What do you think about that, Dieter? It's wet and getting wetter. Okay, we hit the speed, but now the handling's off. Oh, these are the things that drive you up the wall. Okay, so that was good. Excellent. 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 But we pushed it too far that time. Okay, so what if we go back to more oversteer? But we're not going to want that much. And top speed, nope. Yeah, we just got to get that up there. That's closer. There's got to be a way to hit this better. That would be just about right. You know what? Let me take another look at this. So I don't want to be that far off. Like right there is the perfect spot for that. I want to try to hit it that close. If I can, but I don't know if I can hit that and still get this where I want it. Boy. I'm not sure. I'm going to try that. See what it looks like. Give myself another data point, if nothing else. I feel like I'm missing some small adjustment there that I should be able to make to line it right up. Just got to find the right combination of nudges, I guess. It's not like 98% is bad, it's just if you can get it better, then why not get it better? Okay, it worked. Not arguing with a 99. Okay, so water's about done. I think at about 7 minutes I want to... Do I want to wait that long? I'll call it 7:20. Send Wexler out for our first set. Then I'm hoping, you know, this is the right timing that we'll have an opportunity to do another one afterwards. Expecting better things from Wexler, of course, this race. Now that we have him fully healthy. I'm thinking I might have gone out just a bit late, or it's close to the right timing. We will see. There's Wexler locking in his temperature. And Lippinen as well. Yep, now everybody previously racing in wet conditions. But they're coming back out, so we're not going to hold this big lead that Wexler's putting up here. But he does take first by 2 seconds and is the first to throw one down under 120. Lipinen's clearly not going to be that fast. Nope. 0.8 slower, and he's happy with it. Tells you how well Wexler just ran. He's got bad form at the moment, though. Yeah, I don't think Lipinen's going to get. I mean, I could be wrong. But if Lipinen gets his second try in, it's going to be just barely. I should have done it closer to 8 minutes. Wexler should not have a problem with it. Maybe Lipinen will make it. We will see. In any case, we'll just go back out. Yeah, Lipinen should make it. I was being overly pessimistic there. We're actually going out just a hair early here. But it's not by much, so I'm not going to sit here and wait. Wexler is still looking pretty solid with a 6.1. To keep him rolling. Behind one of the Scuderia guys, though. That's not outstanding. There he goes. Almost got that into the zone for Lipinen, but not quite. And Wexler a bit slower this time. What do you say you turn up the pace, Dieter? If you can. You had such a good run last time, I understand. Hard to match it. Yeah, you're not going to. Okay. Lipinen a little faster this time, though. Yep, Wexler not as good, but so far nobody has beaten it. And here's Lipinen down to 7th and had a poor second segment. So can he finish well enough to get himself a decent time? No, he cannot. That was his best time, but it wasn't good enough to move up at all. So Wexler wins the previous race and throws it down on pole here in Rio. While Lipinen, more middle of the pack. And of course, the big question on everybody's mind right now on this Saturday qualifying session, what will the weather be like at race time tomorrow, and how will that affect the strategy? Let's take a look. Well, it's raining right away. So it's rain early, and that's it would appear. That's high enough that enters for 10 or so laps and softs the rest of the way. I can buy that. We're going soft tires and race trim. Of course, engine expert and race trim. Inters to start. And then as soon as the rain slows down, softs the rest of the way. Okay. We're definitely going to want to burn the tires because they should have plenty of life. Let's take a look at... yeah. Should be fine on that. And then... not quite a long enough race to knock out 4 laps of fuel. So we'll knock out 3 on Lipponen. So Wexler in first and the injured Chapman driving a little bit better in second. That's the main competition. Nina Holtz, though, driving great in third. Saarinen and Espinoza here in the middle, but we got a 5 and a 3 for their form. That's good news for us. Lipponen also with a 3, however, and Schmidt with an 8. So Lipponen potentially could be stuck to, boy, DeGraff and Surkov, even though injured. You know, the 7's behind. Lipponen could be up against it some here, for sure. But we'll ride along with Wexler in the front of the field. Good start for Wexler and a poor one for Chapman as he's going to look to pull away from everybody. Lipponen fading as we anticipated he might. Definitely going to try to fire on cylinders for the full first 2 laps. Although Wexler out to that big of a lead, you know what? Let's extend our time of high burning the engine. Keep going on the tires. Lipponen now up to 6th, 5th. So Lipponen saying, look, I may have started bad, but doggone it, I'm going to do something about this. Wexler with the fastest lap off of the start, sprinting away and still up by 2 seconds. Lipponen trying to get by Lundqvist here and goes on one side, Chapman on the other. No, that's Nina Holtz, excuse me, and we lost the battle to Holtz, but still got by, so we stay in 5th. Wexler still 2 seconds up on Saarinen. We finish 1st and 5th here. We win the race by a decent amount, and this championship is over. Alright, now we're going to switch back to conserve on the tires. Wexler will stay at high. Yeah, and as Lipponen crosses the line, switches to medium. Gives a little bit of gap in the fuel, but not much. So, holding in 5th, the top 4 running away, but we want to try to stay ahead of Lundqvist, Espinoza, etc. And still that 11-point lead. Take a look at Wexler. He's going to be able to extend, probably by a couple, 3 laps, how much time he can be aggressive by backing off soon. And not only that, it limited his chance of crashing on that first lap. Because crashing early in the rain would be our biggest concern. And give him that. Why don't you just take him back to medium? Have him use up that fuel later. So long as he can stay a decent amount ahead of Saarinen, I think that's a wiser move. Lipponen holding secure. We can boost back up the tires if we need to. Right now there's no reason to. Falling quite quickly behind Holtz. And a second and a half ahead of Lundqvist. So it seems like Lipponen and Wexler are both locked into their positions more or less. It's going to continue to get wetter. We're into, inters are the best tire type territory. Not that it matters because everybody is on inters. Good to have the driver spread out a bit, actually, because I'm going to have them hit at the same time. But this race, again, looking very good for us right now. Saarinen catching up a bit. Just not, again, we're driving pretty conservatively. Lippinen's doing fine. Wexler really is holding back significantly at this point. We'll have more to give later, so I'm not really worried about it right now. We're looking good. Lippinen now with almost 3 seconds on either side. Let's push these back up to neutral for a bit. There we go, starting to pull away again. I just want to, slowly. I don't want to let Saarinen get close, get under a second. Don't want to give him hope that he's going to catch me. If I can do that without going higher on the engine and increasing my crash risk, I definitely want to. Go ahead and boost up to neutral for Lippinen. I'm going to back off in a bit here for Wexler. Yep, out to 1.9 seconds. Now we're going to start seeing the water come down soon because the rain's going to let up. Yep. Now lighter rain that we're seeing. Now we've got to time it out as to when is the best lap to come in. And I'm not really worried about being stuck behind other cars, because if they're still out there on inters, we're going to go right by them. And if they're not, then they're pitting with us. Rain has not yet completely stopped. Lippinen's gained about half a second, but we'll have to switch to conserve here. And Wexler still maintaining. Saarinen not able to make a significant charge yet. Starting to go down pretty significantly. I think if I wait another lap, it's too long. I'm going to go now. We're going to switch to softs. We're going to finish the race on them. See what everybody else does. Because if they don't come in, I think they're making a big mistake. Right about now is the break-even point, and by the end of this next lap, it's going to be well into tires. Yeah, and they're staying out there. That's their loss. It's Go up to neutral. And let's definitely go high now. Make your way through that traffic. And we're dropping to 12th and 19th, but I assure you we are not staying there. Wexler looking for the path. Why is it taking you this long to get by? That's a little scary. Come on, you're better than this. We can't just sit here behind Blanc on inters. Come on, move. There's not much water on the track. What are you doing? This is not going nearly as well as I expected. Maybe I overestimated the advantage I'd have there. North going in and repairing. Now we're going by. Lipinen has gotten by some drivers, and the other drivers have weaker tires also, like weaker amount of wear. Yeah, Wexler getting blocked off a lot here. This could really hurt us. I apparently was wrong. Alright, now go conserve on your tires. We're 7th and 8th as the other, like, these cars out here on inters now. I can't imagine. No, I mean, we're just, you can see that it's just counting down for Wexler. The longer they stay out there, they're just going to be hurting themselves. Still, I may have come in a lap early from the way all that looked. Wexler takes the lead. Lipinen up to how high? 4th behind Saarinen and Chapman. Because of Holtz's repair, I'm thinking. Or no, North did the repair. Okay. Because we did a little better, and we still did better in the rain than they did, but not as much better as I was thinking that we would. So our tires are going to be a little bit more worn than theirs. I don't think they're going to make it, the ones that are on the super softs. Like Holtz is going to have to pit again, so not worried about Holtz can pass us. I don't care. I don't see us doing worse than 1st and 4th, and that's a win. That is a win. Saarinen is catching Wexler despite him pushing the accelerator, but it's only going to last so long. Alright, Lipinen can go neutral for a bit. Just make things as hard on Holtz as we can. Working so far. Holt's just not able to get close enough to pull the pass. So this could be very interesting. But now we've got to go conserve again, so that may throw that all out the window. And only average driving at best for Lipinen there. Wexler, though, is still racing pretty well. Slowly losing ground to Saarinen. He's now down to even on the fuel. Now boosting out to over 2 seconds. I'm going to take a look at, just time out the wear on the tires per lap. Make sure the numbers we've got are accurate. 84%. And after this lap, we're going to have 25 to go. And 82%. So yeah, I have no reason to think that these tires won't last. Gonna have to conserve them most of the time just because of sheer tire temp. But we should be fine there. Wexler now at 81. Saarinen 83, so the gap in tire wear is closing. Doesn't look that far behind, but it's almost 2 seconds. Wexler is not running away with this by any stretch, but he does look to be the clear winner. Be his second in a row, and as mentioned, it would really lock things down for us. Yep, 15-point win. Rossini finishing just behind Steinman overall so far. And Lippinen still holding off Holtz. So that's pretty darn good as well. I think I definitely see Lippinen finishing fourth after Holtz pits and Ribeiro pits, and Espinosa is going to have to pit, which will probably have her sliding down further. So there's nothing but good news for us. We just got to keep an eye on everything, make sure we don't do anything stupid. And now Lippinen pulling away from Holtz. Wexler driving even better, up in the mid-7s, and Lippinen also as well driving better, up in the mid-5s. So having a good stretch of the race here, both of them. And we are halfway done. At this point, it looks like both drivers probably going to end up at about 30% on the tire wear, which would be a really good place to be. There's Wexler's best lap of the race. Still got plenty of fuel to burn before he has to back off. Up over 2 seconds is his lead. Hoping to stretch that as much as he can. And he's having an even faster lap so far this time. Yep, narrowly, not the best third sector, but narrowly improving that pace. Definitely don't see Lipinen moving up at all, though. Chapman has extended that gap. Chapman has tires that are at least as good. Looks like Lipinen sits there in fourth. I expect to stay right where we are. And Wexler's fastest lap of the race, and he loses significant ground to Saarinen. So, Saarinen driving well as well. Schmidt is driving fantastically, but still only in 7th. Gotta hand it to Saarinen. He is not giving up. We're going faster with every lap, and he's sticking right with us. "18 laps to go now." And now Wexler pulling away from Saarinen, who's had to, back off the tires. He seems to alternate between aggressive and conservative, as the AI likes to do, as opposed to holding a consistent line, which I've always found to be a little bit more effective. Up to 8.0 now for Wexler. Lipinen fading in his driving. And, he's fallen back to 6 seconds behind Chapman. But Wexler just is like continuing to drive better and better as the race goes on. Looks like this will be his first lap sub 124 set. Well, a minute 24 is what I meant. Yes, well under. Well under a minute 24. And he's still got a few laps before he has to back off. But Saarinen is still only 2 seconds back. Let's take a look at tire wear again. We're at 60. Saarinen at 57. So he's been pushing his tires harder to stay close. I think that's going to be a factor at the end. Holt's close up behind Lippinen again, but she is going to have to come in for her pit very soon, and then he's going to be all alone. You can see Lippinen's best lap about half a second worse than Wexler's. No question who the alpha is here now. 2.5 seconds, the biggest lead that Wexler has had. There's Holtz fading badly now with the tires. Less than a third of the race to go as Holtz goes in. Now Lippinen has better tires than Chapman, but there's a big gap between them that we're not going to catch. Now let's go neutral here to make sure we get by. This is Jenny North. There we go. Go back to conserve. And a new fastest lap. Switch again. This is Moreno. Then up ahead a little bit will be Woodford, and there's nobody else for, what is that, almost 30 seconds. Not long now for Wexler before he needs to back off on the accelerator. How we doing here? Part's good enough for Lippinen. I'm going to go push. Just for a little bit. A few laps. And boom, there goes Wexler by. 11 laps to go. So a couple more on hitting the accelerator there. It was Chapman fastest lap of the day. The barrel goes in. Okay, it's time to go back to medium now for Wexler. Coast through the rest of this. If anything, it might be just a bit short on fuel. I can back off at the end if I need to. Medium now for Lippinen. Gained about a second on Chapman during that spurt. Not nearly enough, of course. We'll go back to neutral on the tires a little bit more towards the end, but it's not going to make up that kind of gap. Espinosa still pretending that she's going to be able to make it. Oh, not anymore. She's signaling to come into pit. Eight laps remaining. Curious to see how far Espinosa drops, because I think she's going to take herself totally out of the points. Wexler sort of coming down to earth from the low 8s, now to 6-9. And Lipponen, ugh. But 7 laps to go and a 3-second lead. Which is exactly what we had after the rain. Chapman in 31. He's going to be in the red by the end of the race, but he's going to stay out there. We're just not going to have enough to pass him. Yeah, it's 10 seconds. That's not happening. I'm going to boost to neutral here for a bit with Lipponen, though. Still over 10 seconds. Wexler's lead was down to 2.2. Now it bounces up, down. Saarinen still going to try to make a push. Yeah, 29%. It's not going to be long until he starts slowing down. And we'll back off with Lipponen. He's falling further behind anyway. Concerned about the brakes. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll got 4 more laps. 1.4 seconds. Definitely want to go neutral. 1 second. So sort of like the last hurrah here for Saarinen was at 24%. Less than a second. We're going by. And now he's having trouble getting by Vidal, so that's going to get us some time here. Amazing that Chapman is still pulling away, throwing it all out there with 17% on his tires. Saarinen is by, but losing ground now. So let's go conserve and coast in. Okay. We've got to go low for a bit here. That's probably enough. Check it again when we get close to the finish. Still a 2-second thing. And Chapman hits. Thought for sure he was going to stick it out. Lippinen up to third. Let's go low for just a bit more. Only 1.1 second lead. Let's go back up. Let's go neutral. And same thing here, low and neutral. There, that should be good. Want to make sure we've got enough. Saarinen with no tires, somehow managing to make a run at it. But it wasn't enough. Lippinen coming in a distant third at a terrible 2.6 form. It's still third. Third place is a heck of a thing. All right. See, Surikov broke 2 parts, broke the rules, demoted 14 places from 5th to 19th. Ouch. North demoted from last to last. Boy, Surikov, what a cheater. All right. I believe first and third's our best race of the year. At least after, like, Cape Town or whatever. Wexler takes the points lead. Close driver race, not close team race anymore. No. Nobody can. Boy, look at Oliveira just tanking. That's really weird. I've never seen that. Never seen that before. Something's messed up with her. But, you know, boosting these driver relations, and it doesn't even matter anymore. We lose $1 million. So what? So that's Rio. We're not going to be able to max all our parts out before the end of the year, as it turns out. We don't care. You know, we've got this in the bag. So for Dubai, it will be done in montage format. It doesn't matter if I crash both drivers on the first turn of the race. You know, we're gonna have this anyway. So thanks for watching. Next time we will have the conclusion of the From the Ashes challenge. We'll be done with the Pro and we'll move on to All-Star. And we've had this much trouble with the final Pro challenge. I'm a little scared about what's going to happen there, but, you know, onward and upward. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.